Hello everybody, John Henderson here, back again, another beer ramble, again, another Rehash, Yuengling Traditional Lager. Paid $1.79 for this brew from America's oldest brewery, Yuengling, D.G. Yuengling and Son, based in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Now they have sorry, first beer of the day, and I'm kind of thirsty. Anyway, here's what the beer looks like. See balloons in the background from a party that we had a couple of months ago, a month ago. So, a little amber, nice amber color look to it. Very little fuzz on top. Let's see. Yuengling again been around since 1829. So this is one of their first original beers, amber beer they say. It's traditional lager, amber ale, I guess. And a beer I tend to get frequently, not as much. I mean, the price point for this one is about the same, maybe lower for Budweiser. It depends on certain stores you go to, anywhere in the country. I know here, I think the 12-pack was like $10.39 or $12.39, and Budweiser was this was $11.39 at Rouse's and for a 12-pack, and the other one was like $12.99. So that makes sense. I'm going to be real thirsty. Like I said, this is my first beer of the day. I'm thirsty as hell. Anyway, 1829, of course, D.G. Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. They have family owned and operated, and they like to tout that, as well as tout that the fact that they're American owned. And they love to sort of stick it to the noses of the BMC, Bud, Miller, and Coors. Of course, SAB Miller, Anheuser-Busch have just joined forces. Of course, Molson Coors also owned another major conglomerate outside of the United States, but still Brewed. All their beers are brewed here. Dick Yuengling now is I'm probably going to get this wrong. I'm sure somebody can remind me. I think he's maybe the 5th or 6th generation now of Yuenglings. To produce their beer, to make beer now. The beer will gracefully go into the hands of his 4 daughters right now, whenever he decides to retire, but he's still going at it. If you look at their YouTube page, very detailed, and again, they're very, like say, family-owned, operated. They have always done it sort of the very gradual pace in terms of putting out their beers. Of course, most of the Northeast gets this. We started getting some of their beers here in 2008, I believe, here in Alabama, Florida as well, Georgia, about around that same time. They arrived in Mississippi about 3 years ago, and then they arrived in Louisiana 2 years ago. So, give or take that, about that time frame. And they've kind of done it in a very, very gradual pace. Now, will they cross over the they have crossed over the Mississippi, cross over the Mississippi River into Louisiana. Now, will they go further into Texas? Who knows? I know Indiana has, I think, started getting their beers now. I think also Michigan, I think, got some of their beers as well. There's a list on their website, detailed list of where all you could get Yuengling throughout the country. I know it's not out in California, it's not out in Nebraska or Kansas. Who knows? They have another brewery in Tampa. I think when they got started that brewery, I think it was 2004, I believe. So they made their way, and they've kind of been pushed themselves to, stress the family ownership and their and the unique history of it, and how that's the way it should be done. Also, besides this beer, the traditional was there first. Of course, they got the black and tan. It's a combination of their porter and their premium beer, and also we get the light. So those are the three, and then of course some of their seasonals they'll come out with the Oktoberfest, and they have another beer in their summer Oktoberfest and summer wheat as well. But we get basically the three: the traditional lager, the light, and the black and tan, which I think is a very phenomenal beer. They had the IPL, Indian Pale Lager, which I liked, and I think it did pretty well. But for whatever the reason, they just discontinued. Right? Anyway, I got this right up the street here at the service station. Like I said, I was just on my way home. So again, a nice amber taste, flavor to it. The ABV is 4.7%, which I'm about correct on. And if it's not, then I'm sure I'll on my post in the video, you'll see it. One thing I think that's only been the knock of it is that he's, it's just his distribution. I mean, but again, that's kind of how the way the family has run their beer. The way they've run the company. It's like, well, we're going to do it in our pace, our slow pace. Kind of, if you're running a family business, that's kind of how you do it. You know. Nice, very crisp, very nice amber, like a little bit of tint of caramel into this. Not much. Very malty. I won't say known hops in this, but some good malts. Okay, and again, a tad of a little. I don't say malty, but I think it's also no hops. There's maybe sort of a little bit of some. I say wheat. I don't say there's none of that in this one, but. A hit of caramel, a slight little amount of sugar. No hot presence to this. None, but still phenomenal amber ale, or amber lager, traditional lager, I like to say. Comparisons to this, some say Boston lager. I don't think so. I think Boston Lager maybe is a tad bit better, slightly, than this. But you compare this with a nice, Chateaubriand. You compare this with a little bit of brisket, which I'm going to have later today, which I'm going to prepare. But right now I'm going to throw it in the oven. And I should have bought some coleslaw on the way home. With my wife, I don't know, but like I said, I've always been a fan of this beer. I like it. I will bring it to a party. Some will probably look at me oddly, but brisket, like I say, brisket, burgers. I won't say pizza, but something within that range that's very, very man-sized meal. Meatloaf will kind of go well with this brew. So. And also, people tend to knock Dick Yuengling because of his politics. Yes, he is a Republican. And yes, whatever. Yes, he has supported many Republican candidates. Of course, as a note, current president that we have. Also, he was a big proponent of making PA a right-to-work state. We can fire you and hire you whenever we feel like it. So. Definitely some grains in this as well, but definitely a very malty amber lager that I enjoy. again, I don't care what your politics is. I don't care what you believe. I mean, as long as you put out good beer, that's all I care about. So I don't give a crap about your politics. So, as I did with the first time I did traditional lager, I'm gonna give it the same score. It is a what I gave it. I think I maybe gave it a B+ at the time. So I'm probably going to give it about that, about a B+ for this beer. It's really good, enjoyable. And again, price point is just as good, if better than Budweiser, or Coors Banquet. Probably maybe a couple of cents less, maybe $1 less, but still you're getting a very, very good beer that compare with, just about, like I said, those sort of hearty, fulfilling, dishes, as I mentioned: meatloaf, mashed potatoes, gravy, veggies, hot roast, whatever. So again, B+ for this beer. So that would be an 8.5, 8.7, between that range. Very good. So that's my rehash on Yuengling Traditional Lager. John Henderson Pierre, the Beer Ramble team. Keep on watching as always. Cheers. Yuengling, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love Yuengling.